What's up, guys? Toogie here, back again. Let's get right down to business. It is the re-sign phase after a very interesting draft. Oh boy, but that is behind us. Let's move forward. I don't even want to discuss it. So let's see here. Starting off with the goaltending, we are going to let go of Jared Coro for now. We're also going to let go of Gustafson. We will look, though, to re-sign Petr Mrazek. He is still shaping up to be our goaltender, as again, I forget to open up the calculator app before starting the video. I am absolutely terrible at that. We can take about $800K off of this, though, which is very nice. We will go to $4.1 million for 4 years with Petr Mrazek. Not a bad bit of business. Defenseman Sproul needs a new deal. He is looking to get paid, as you would expect at this point. I apologize if the mouse clicking is a little bit loud as it picks up, but you know, it is what it is at this point. We can drop this down to 2.875 for 3 years. Not too bad. It is a good thing that a lot of these guys are looking for contracts. Although, in fairness, I should probably be overpaying them at this point, just because of the amount of cap space we have. Pyonk's only looking for 1 year. I'm going to give him exactly what he wants to not risk his developments. Daniel Brickley, though, is looking for a legitimate contract, so we will sign him up and knock that down to 145 for 2 seasons. Renouf also looking for a legitimate deal. So a little bit weird that Pionk was looking for a two-way deal. He was listed as a depth defenseman, which is a little bit weird, and I don't know why, but them's the breaks. Girardi. Dan Girardi. Do we buy him out, or do we wait? I'm going to leave him there for the moment, because I legitimately don't know. I legitimately don't know if it would just be worth keeping him on the roster because of the cap space. I'm probably going to buy him out, but let's get rid of Svedberg. Let's get rid of Reese Scarlett. And who else? Haig can't be signed yet. We're good to go. So yeah, we just need to make that decision on Dan Girardi, which, if we buy him out, it's 1.833 for 4 seasons. You know, I think that's a decent enough sacrifice, because our cup window will open up in about 4 years if we're lucky. And it's a big decision to buy out a player, but, well, then again, if we hold on to him, he might retire. Just like we saw Matt Molson do in the last episode, he might retire at the end of next year, and we'd avoid having to pay that. It might be worth keeping Dan Girardi, man, and just keeping him down in the AHL. So we'll come back to that. Anthony Mantha looking to get paid, as again, you would expect at this point. We're going to be able to get him on a pretty decent contract, about $3.45 million for 4 seasons. Baptiste needs a deal, and he's looking for a pretty favorable contract. Things are looking good, man. Things are looking very good for this team. It's just a matter of how free agency pans out and who's available, because we are going to have to sign somebody, especially too. Now, prospect-wise is what I'm alluding to, because I wish the situation last year was the situation for this season, because I probably would go all out in signing those players, because now we actually really have a need for them, as opposed to last year where everything was still a bit of a log jam. Landon Ferraro will let go of. Left wings, Tyler Bertuzzi needs a deal. He's not looking for that bad of a contract, really. I thought he would have asked for more. I did the math wrong. That is embarrassing. Or either that or the decimal didn't go. 1235. That works out. Drew Miller is gone. Payarvi, you had a really good season in the AHL. You're gone. Danny Heatley, you are gone. And Gettinger needs his entry-level deal. Sweet. Centers. Oh boy, we have a lot of work to do here, don't we? Well, the good thing is a lot of that open cap space is going to be taken up, even though, of course, we are using the 0.85% trick, the 85% trick. We're still going to be paying people a hell of a lot more. 4, 5, 2, 6. All right, so we'll go 4, 5, 5, 0. Sweet. Radek Faxa needs a deal. Riley Sheahan. That is an interesting name as to whether or not we resign him. I guess now that we get rid of Martin Hansel, he'll still be good to have on the third or fourth line. Let's see, 178 or 17 or 3718. So 3725 works out for Faxa. You know what? Fuck it. We'll look to re-sign Riley Sheahan. That's fine. I mean, he's not even looking for that much. So that's all right. We'll knock that down to 1375. Nestrasil jumped all the way up to an 84. What are his individual stats looking like? He's a well-rounded player. Listed as a depth forward, though. I'm going to let him go for now. We'll also get rid of Boyd Gordon. Sheldon Drees, one of the NCAA free agents that we signed at the beginning of this series. I'm going to let him go for now, too. I don't know if he'll make it. Noah Rod needs a contract. We'll give him what he wants. Ein needs a new contract. We will give him what he wants, and we are good to go. The big question is, once we hear back from these guys, is do we buy out Dan Girardi? And I would have said yes before, but I think it's worth simply holding out, keeping him on the team this year, and then hoping that he retires next year so that we're not stuck with having to pay the buyout penalty. Because that 4-year commitment would suck quite a bit and could be the difference maker between us getting certain players. So let's see. No RFAs, no UFAs, unsigned players is fine. I think for now we're going to keep Dan Girardi. For now we will keep Dan Girardi. It sucks that he takes up a roster spot, but I think I'd rather hedge my bets on him retiring rather than having to pay the $1.8 million over 4 years. Fuck. I know if I buy him out, I guarantee he retires. But if I don't buy him out, I'm stuck with him. Big decision. You know what? Fuck it. I'm buying him out. I don't want him. Dan Girardi's gone. I guarantee you he retires, and I end up regretting that just a little bit. But screw it. It is what it is. I want him off the team so that we can just move on. Let's him forward to free agency. And, of course, that frees up another roster spot. So I'm good with it. I'm good with it. He will absolutely retire. I don't even think he'll get signed by a team. So we get to move forward to free agency, and let's take a look at the list. Last year we missed out on quite a few people. This year we have $30 million to spend. Mark-Edouard Vlasic, Turris, Darnell Nurse, the big names this year. Right. Well, let me go back really quick. I just want to kind of draft up a mock depth chart here to see what we are working with and what our main needs are. I do want to play this somewhat strategically rather than just going, oh, we could probably use that player and then finding out, no, you really didn't need him at all. So goalies, we know that we have Mrazek, we have Vevalainen, and we have Van Pottelberg. As my pen is dying. Yep, thanks, pen. Thank you. Yep, that's great. That is great. That's what I get for using a pen and a piece of paper. That's what I get. It's supposed to be easier by design. It's not that much easier. So let's take a look at backup goalies. If there's nobody really worth it, I guess we'll kind of hedge our bets on thinking that Van Pottelberg will improve. But I mean, we do have options. That's the thing. We could afford anybody right now. It's just a matter of what they get pissed off. We could get, I believe this is Nick Ellis, who starts off with the Edmonton Oilers. He wouldn't be a bad shout as a backup. You also have Jonathan Bernier listed. So Ellis might be the ideal situation. Also high fringe starter, so he could improve. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to offer Nick Ellis a deal. 2 years is fine. I'm going to bump that up to 175 because I want to make sure that we get him. So we send that offer out to Nick Ellis. Now we could use one more goalie if there's a decent prospect, and there's a couple. Evan Fitzpatrick and Joseph Wall both hit the free agency list. So Toronto and I believe St. Louis is where Fitzpatrick... That's the thing. Fitzpatrick in this game, he hadn't signed his entry-level deal with St. Louis yet, so that's why he is on the free agent list now. So that is a little bit unfortunate. You also have Calvin Booth as a medium backup, but I don't know, medium backup goalie is not as exciting. I'd probably rather have high AHL starter. And there are a couple of guys. Dylan, Marcus Rusu is still there, as is Griffin Outhouse. Oh, shit. So Evan Fitzpatrick, too, is already an 80 overall. I wish I noticed he was an 80 overall. I wouldn't have sent the offer out to Ellis. But you know what? I don't care. We can get rid of Evalainen. I will send an offer. We are going for Evan Fitzpatrick. And honestly, we're going to be a bit cheap about it. We're going to be a bit cheap about it. We're also going to be a bit cheap about signing Joseph Wall. I want those two players. God damn it, that's who I'm going to get. Because we're going to need to flip them to get picks back. Especially too once Ian Scott is ready. So there we go. We're only a couple minutes into this episode. And I'm sure I've already pissed somebody off. So that's good. That is good. Defense. Now, Darnell Nurse isn't going to happen. He's a restricted free agent. And there is absolutely no chance in hell that we have the proper draft picks to pick him up, which is fine. I would much rather end up with the draft picks that we did, that, you know, especially in the past, you know, first 2 seasons here. I'd definitely rather end up with those players than signing Darnell Nurse as an RFA. But let's see, defensively here, we have quite the list of talents. So our top 6 is pretty much locked up. And then prospect-wise, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 guys there. Okay, so we could use some depth prospects defensively, or we could take a risk in signing one of the bigger names. We could take the risk in signing one of the bigger names and then potentially trading a Dan Renouf type player. So let's take another quick look here at the defense. The high-end players, Vlasic, definitely a big-time name. You got Darnell Nurse, Braden McNabb, but Matt Benning might not be... I mean, Matt Benning might not be a bad shout. But question is, do the players we have end up being just as good as Matt Benning? Now, we could definitely sign Vlasic, and he would be a game changer. Let me look at prospects really quick, because that should be an easier decision. You have Nurse. Bengston's 24, so I'll pass. But Luke Green, Winnipeg. Let's Luke Green slip through the cracks. And we are going to make them pay for it. Montreal and Nashville are going after them. I don't care. I want them. I gave these teams mercy last year. No mercy this year. None. None. I am going to be ruthless, and I'm going to get the players that I want, God damn it. So let's see, Keaton Middleton, Josh Anderson, Victor. Wow, Montreal let go of him, huh? I mean, again, another one of those players who didn't sign his entry-level deal at the time. Obviously, he just recently signed his entry-level deal with Montreal. A lot of medium top 6 defensemen available. High 7th, Philip Berglund, an Edmonton pick, as well as Jack Walker. He's 22, though. How about high AHL? High AHL. We have David Bernhard, a 7th-round pick of the Flyers. David Quinville, Stepan Fakovsky. I think I'd rather go with high 7th, though, than high AHL top 2. So that is the question. Medium 6 or high 7th? That is the question. And you know what? Since we're going with Green, you know what? I'm going for it here. Matt Benning. I'm going to offer you a 2-year deal at $3 million bucks. We'll see what he says. And then we'll go to Marc-Edouard Vlasic. And we will say 3 years at 6.8. And we will see if he accepts that. And then we'll take it from there. We'll see if what the response is from those players. And depending on that, we might have to go back and send quite a few more offers out to free agents. But, yeah, I'm surprised at some of the prospects that are hitting the market here. But we are trying to make the most of it. And then forwards, let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 players signed. So we need, oh my god, yeah, we're going to need a lot of players. We're going to need a lot of players. So let's see, we need 3 more lines worth of players at least. That is brutal. All right, well, now we know. Now we know, and I'm sorry for that. That was terrible, and I should probably jump cut it. But again, I don't know. For some reason, I'm stubborn in the way I like to do these episodes. I just like to keep them live. So we need 3 forward lines signed minimum. So Kyle Turris is available, but I don't exactly want to take a spot away from certain players. Drake Caggiula is an option. I might just go pure prospects here and see who's available. And immediately, Vancouver fans might be familiar with one Jonathan Dahlen. And yeah, you might be a hell of a lot more familiar with him. We're going for him. Vander Kane, Riley Tufte, also available. Dallas, you're going to have a fight for him. I mean, you don't know. These guys might still decline. We've seen Brock Besser, for example, decline offers in the past. So it is definitely possible that I might not get these players despite offering them pretty strong contracts. So don't completely freak out on me for being totally cheap. Let's see. Connor Bunnaman. Hell of a name. All right, you know what? Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Connor Bunnaman. So that is the... Ow, that was my elbow. That hurt like a son of a bitch. So let's see. We got 1... Another 1. Dosty, sure. Come on down. 2. That makes up another line. So we need at least 1 more line of players here. 22 out of 73. Adam Brooks. You know what? We'll try to sign you up too. Fuck it. We'll try to sign you up too. So that's 1. Medium top 9 or high AHL? That is the question. Let me take a look at some of the ages of these players that'll be down in high AHL. So 20-year-old, go figure, Ty Ronning is available. Otto Sompi, Pizzetta. Yeah, I guess I'd rather go with medium top 9 than high AHL. Yeah, I'd rather go with high AHL than like medium bottom 6, but that is a pretty big step up. So hold on 1 second because I totally lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we need at least 2 more here. At least 2 more. So we will go with Twarniski. Twarniski, Calgary Hitmen jersey, I can tell that. Hudson Elnewick. Come on down. And Will Bitten. Come on down. All right. That is a ton of contracts, to say the least, that we have sent out. I meant to hit approached. So forwards, quite the list. Defense, decent list. Goaltending, of course. 3 names there as well. Let's move forward. Let's see what happens. Let's see what the answers are from this first batch of players before we move forward. We might miss out on a couple of people, but the names that I definitely wanted to go after is who I talked to. First, Matt Benning accepted. Ellis, Bitten, Bunneman rejected. All right. Apparently we didn't offer him the money he wanted. Kopaka, Jonathan Dahlin, Alex Dostie, Luke Green, Fitzpatrick, Wall, Tufty, Twarniski, Spacek, Brooks, Elnewick. Well, damn. That was pretty much everybody. The only person to decline was Bunneman. And even then, we might still be in cap space trouble here. So Vlasic is the only guy that hasn't responded yet, which is all right. Let's take a look and double check our contract spots at the moment. Let's see here, because we still got $26 million available. So 47. So when Vlasic signs, I need to offer somebody a max deal. That's even once he signs, I have to offer someone else a max deal, or we are going to have severe cap issues. So let's take a look. What veteran wants a severance package? Nolan Yonkman. Nolan Yonkman or Jarrett Stoll? I'm going to go with Stoll because he could at least be useful. So let's see. The max deal, $15 million. Is what we'll go for. Let's hear back from Vlasic first, just to see, because he might not sign, and indeed he didn't, because we're not going in the direction that he wants. But money might talk, and that's why I waited. I want him on this team, kind of, especially too now that we signed Benning. But you know what? I think we can still make the most of this. Well, actually. You know what? I'll let him go. I'll let him go, because we already signed Matt Benning, which means I'm probably letting go of Renouf. We'll take a look, because the defensive situation's already interesting as it is. So let's go to Jarrett Stoll, not Lundqvist, Jarrett Stoll. Let's offer you that max contract of $15.5 million. He'll accept that. We'll still have space for a waiver claim if necessary. And we should be good to go. Wow, Stoll's taking this long to answer, huh? Like, come on now. There you go. And let's take a look at some of the signings here before we move on. No trades, but let's take a look here. A couple of minor deals that nobody really cares about. Luke Schenn to San Jose, Brian Little to Vancouver, Kyle Turris to Montreal, McNabb to Chicago. Overall, none of the major signings yet, really. Yeah, I mean, a couple of the free agents that we kind of passed on, but overall, don't feel like we really missed out on anybody. I don't really care where Vlasic goes. Let's move forward. Let's move forward. I'm good to go. We signed quite a few players as it is. Let's move forward, and we will see just what the situation is, especially with progression. I might somewhat regret going after Matt Benning. That might have been a mistake, because I'm not sure if I'm going to want to get rid of someone like Dan Renouf, who I'd probably rather keep. But I do think it was, I think it was the right call to pass on Vlasic. I'd rather go with the younger defensemen that still have a bit of potential. But so far, the only guy I can think of that's going to be out the door is Vieni Vevalainen to make space for Evan Fitzpatrick and Joseph Wall. And then even then, those two guys, their days are numbered once we get Ian Scott next season. Or maybe later on this season, it depends. But yeah, again, what's the phrase here? The plans are set. The plans are in motion, so to speak, as we slowly but surely begin to put ourselves in a decent situation. And I am definitely glad that I bought out Dan Girardi. But let's take a look. Ellis up to an 84. Fitzpatrick up to an 83. And that's why I said I was somewhat regretting offering Ellis that deal. So I think the ideal situation here would be... I mean, we could keep Vienni Vevalainen to have a third goalie signed, just because it would be a pain in the ass for the game to sign somebody down in the AHL, depending on their overall. But I think the ideal situation would be to get rid of Ellis, have Fitzpatrick as the backup, and then probably get rid of Vevalainen as well. So already, plans have changed based on what I thought I was going to do, and we're going to have to fix this mess here. As Luke Green already jumped up to an 82. God damn. But Spencer, Pionk, Ouellette, Sproul, Manouf, Benning, and Brickley. So yeah, signing Benning. Maybe not the best idea. The question is, can I get away with trading him without getting punished for it? I don't know if that's possible. Noah Rod's up to an 80. But we know he's not going to be on the team. Evgeny Svechnikov up to an 82. So let's take a look here at the top 12. He is projected as a fourth-line guy. So it's looking like he will fit into this team. So not too bad there. Oh, man. Again, we have some interesting decisions to make, and we definitely made some mistakes on the free agent list. So I think if we could get rid of Benning and Ellis. Right. How do I want to do this? All right, let's see if I can move those guys out. I think that's the best way to go about it. And again, I'm sorry, I'll mention this captains. Just try not to worry about the captains, because I'm not changing it because the morale system is fucking weird. But let's see. Can I get away with trading away recently signed players without taking too big of a hit? That is the question. So surprisingly, Fitzpatrick's value is a little bit low. But let's take the risk here, because we want Van Pottelberg and Wall to be the tandem down in the AHL. So let's see if we can get rid of Ellis and Vevalainen. Who could use two goaltenders? Well, actually, who has the contract spots to make this work? Because we might be stuck. Now they have the need, kind of. They have some decently overalled goalies. We might be able to make this work with Chicago. I don't give a fuck about being fair. I'm going to try to get whatever I can from the Hawks here. Including if I can... I mean, they're probably going to be a good team. But yeah, let's see what I can do here. Can I just absolutely destroy the Chicago Blackhawks is the question. That is the goal right now. So let's give up a sixth. Will that be enough? No, it won't. But let's keep trying. Close to fair value. All right, we're getting there. So Chicago's going to get two goalies that they don't necessarily need, but I don't care. I do not care. We're going to have to give up another sixth, maybe even a fifth to make this work. I do not care. I'll repeat it again. Apparently that was even further off than the previous offer. I love how the game does that. It knows I'm being cheap. That's why it does that. All right, let's go fourth round pick next year then. How about that? How does that sound? Thank you very much, Chicago, for your 3 picks. You have fun with your 2 new goaltenders. And I am quite happy with that. Quite happy with that indeed. Evan Fitzpatrick gets the call up. The goaltending situation is taken care of. Let's go best lines, and then let's see. As you can tell, our draft pick situation has already recovered quite nicely. Matt Benning, who we did not need, who it was a mistake to pick up, but these things happen. These things happen. San Jose, it looks like it would be a marvelous place for him to go. He would have some competition. But let's see here. Nope, they still have too many skaters. St. Louis looks like a wonderful place. I don't know. Maybe we can get this to work. It's looking a little bit shady. Again, I'm going to draft pick Horde because I'm a cheap son of a bitch. That went through. I'm fine with it. We did take a morale hit for trading Benning, but it is what it is. Did what I had to do. And that should put this team into a better spot. So let's see. 6. So I do need another defensive depth player. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, so I need at least I need another defenseman. And then forward-wise, let's see. So we have 12, 13, 14, 15, 6. Nope, 15. Perfect. All right, so we just need another defensive prospect. So I'll take a look and see if there are any guys who are magically, 20 years old now, or if we have to go to the free agent list, that's fine. Let's take a look. We still have $15 million. That's hilarious. Let's take a look. Unsigned players. Nobody's hit 20 yet. It's a shame. It might allow me to sign them, and I really don't want to take, I don't want to take the risk and have them be sent back down to junior, because that just wastes a contract spot. So, Nolan Yonkman. I'm tempted, even though, of course, his salary would be buried. Vlasic is still a free agent. Maybe you should have signed with us, pal, although I am very, very glad that you didn't. Prospects. Is there anybody still available that didn't get signed? Probably not. All the half-decent players are going to be gone. Yes, indeed. All right. So let's go with a fucking, I don't even know what to go for here. Wow, some of the overalls are kind of fucked up, but must be morale related. I want to go with about a 74 overall guy, maybe even a 73. I'm trying to base it off of the players that we already have, and that way they don't get taken out. Let's see here. Is that Dalton Prout? Wow, how the mighty have fallen down to a 73. That is pretty brutal. Oleg Yavenko is available. Derek Meach, Brian Rodney. Looking for just any other familiar names. Alright, let's, Maxime Fortunas. Let's sign him up. 1-year deal for you, Fortunas. You can be my extra depth defenseman down in the AHL. And this roster is pretty much set, is pretty much good to go, although I should set scouting up as soon as possible, because who knows what the hell we can expect from the next few drafts. And as a matter of fact, I am just going to start. Yeah, see, look at the numbers they have. They have plummeted. The draft is, after that, the top 10 from the first round of the previous draft that we just completed, it has become an absolute crapshoot. And good luck. Good luck. I wanted to do my damage early in those first 2 drafts. But let's move forward. Wouldn't trade away players, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, as long as we're not getting punished for it, I'm fine. And we'll know for sure if Fortuna signs. Indeed he did. Sweet, we got away with it. We got off with just a warning. And that's fine, because I don't plan on doing that again. It was, I don't know. It was, I think the eye is bigger than the stomach kind of thing there in terms of signing Benning. And the Ellis thing was just a mistake, because I never expected Evan Fitzpatrick to be available. So let's set this team up. The next season, season 3, is going to be ridiculous. So let's take a look. Top line, I am still alright with having that as our top line. Let's see. 4th line, Svechnikov and Wilson being there's fine by me. We are going to drop Sheahan down. And then, let's see. What do I want to do here? What do I want to do? So let me see. Baptiste and Ferk, there's only a minor difference. And Ferk is better offensively than Bertuzzi. So I think that works. We'll have Nyquist, Larkin, Tatar, Mantha, Faxa, Ferk, and if I'm mispronouncing that still, I apologize. Bertuzzi, Athanasiou, Baptiste, and Svechnikov with Sheahan and Tom Wilson. I'm not opposed to that lineup. Is it the strongest on paper? No. But I really like the look of that lineup. I feel like we, of course, have a lot of potential here. And then defensively, Let's see, do we have 3 righties and 3 lefties? Yes, we do. Beautiful. Let's go. What do we want to do here? I mean, Renouf and Pionk is a guarantee. I guess I'm going to go Xavier Ouellet with Spencer and then Brickley. Well, actually, you know, let's go Detroit connection there. The 2 original guys, Xavier Ouellet and Ryan Sproul, will have Brickley with Spencer, Renouf, and Pionk. I'm liking that defense again. No amazing players there, at least overall-wise, but there is a hell of a lot of potential. Mrazek's still your goaltender. We luck into picking up Evan Fitzpatrick. I'm not complaining. That's the goalie situation only gets better. And then down in the AHL, let's set this up, and it's already good to go. Van Pottelberg, the starter, last year's essentially Conn Smythe winner of the AHL with Joseph Wall as his backup. And then defensively, who do we actually have as the scratches? Right now it's Stevens. Devontae Stevens, currently the scratch, which I think I agree with. Holy shit, Liljegren jumped to an 81. Well, that's a promising sign, as we now have Liljegren and Green. Green listed as a depth defenseman, so I hope he still progresses all right. And Chalowski is up to a 78. So, yeah, improvements are happening very, very quickly. Colton White, though, 74. What is Stevens? Also a 74, 21 years old. White is also 21. So let me know, guys. Do we go with White or Devontae Stevens? That is the question. Liljegren and Green will absolutely be the top pairing. We'll have Green on the right-hand side. And then Chalowski will be with Hronek. Correct. Chalowski will be with Hronek, who's a year younger than Vili Sarjärvi, who will be with either Stevens or Colton White. So that defense is looking great. And then we have, let's see, Dosty, high bottom 6, high bottom 6, high bottom 6, okay? So they're all scratched. Let me take a look here. Let me sort this out by potentials. So the lowest potential guys... So I'd rather have high bottom 6 than medium top 9. I could totally do this off screen, but I'm not. Simple as that. Simple as that. So medium 9, bottom 6. Right. So then high bottom 6, high bottom 6, high bottom 6, another high bottom 6. Right, I am sorry if this is boring. I do apologize, but just trying to focus. And then high top 9 will drop Turgeon down. So, the top line is going to be Tufte, Dahlin, and Giovanni Smith. The high bottom 620. High bottom 622. You know what, because he's a 78... we'll give Chartier a bit of a break. And, let's see. Who has a better shot? He does. So we'll go second line, Chartier, Turgeon, and Noah Rod. And then we are pretty much good to go. Will Bitton is the highest overall guy there. So who is the best forward? I need someone with good face-offs. All right, so we have fourth line of Elnewik, Gettinger, Twarniski. Actually, I think I fucked that up. No, it was Gettinger. And then we're pretty much good to go. It's looking good potential-wise. I mean, the best guy here is probably Dahlin, maybe Giovanni Smith at high, top 9. The team's looking good. Is this team good enough to repeat as Calder Cup champions? I can't say for sure, but needless to say, I am very much excited about both teams. And I do feel like we are in a pretty damn good spot. Moving forward into the new year, 90, 90, and 87 for the ratings there, and straight 80s across the board for the defending Calder Cup champions. Guys, I will end this episode here so you can get any last-second input to tell me how much you hated what I did in this offseason. But I do feel as though it was a very successful offseason, and I'm really enjoying where the team is right now. You know, the NHL team, a lot of potential. I mean, the rebuilds, it's happening. It's there. You know, we have the players now. You know, we have some decent players down in the AHL right now, but still, those core players are still a season or two away from being available down in Grand Rapids. So, while the rebuild's looking good, we still have that second wave of amazing talent that will come in and really turn this team into a dynasty. But things are looking good, and if we make the playoffs at this point, I am fine with that, because the third-year draft and onward is an absolute crapshoot, as we have discovered. But again, guys, that'll do it for this one. I hope you did enjoy. I hope you enjoyed the last few videos. Always interesting to see what the reaction will be to an off-season video. But again, if you did enjoy, feel free to support the video or support the channel in general in any way you deem necessary. Any and all support is, of course, greatly appreciated. And guys, I will catch you in the next episode, where we begin Season 3 with the Detroit Red Wings.